What are habits and why are they so important? A habit is essentially an action that becomes more or less automatic. An example of this would be brushing your teeth, or tying your shoes, or driving in the car. It's important because during the course of our lives, from when we were born up until today, we have picked up a multitude of different habits. Some of them are great, some of them are neither great nor bad, but some of them are damaging. Examples of this would be watching porn, drinking in excess, being judgmental, watching too much TV, and there's many more to this. These damaging habits, what they do is they really tie us down and cripple us so that we cannot reach for our potential. We can't actually actualize what our potential has in store for us. And this is where breaking habits and replacing them with new positive habits becomes critical for transforming our lives. So hey, this is Paul with Transparent Personal Growth, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how self-acceptance and completeness can assist you when it comes to breaking damaging habits and creating new positive habits. Alright, so let's get started right away. The first thing is that the motivation to make a habit change is coming from a completely different place when you are accepting yourself as you are. So an example of this would be most people when they start thinking, okay, I need to work out. Now, in some cases this won't be the case, but generally speaking, what will happen is they're like, oh well, I'm fat, I need to work out. I don't like how I look, so I need to work out. Now, that's not bad, that's not wrong, but what can happen is, say a person's like, okay, I'm fat, I want to work out. So they work out and they lose some weight, and then they're like, oh, now I don't have the motivation to keep working out because all I wanted to do was lose some weight. And so then they gain back that weight, maybe they gain even more weight, and then they are back where they started or worse, and nothing really changed. Now, if you're coming from a accepting place where you're embracing yourself and actually loving who you are in the moment, then what will happen is it'll go something like this. Oh wow, I don't like how I look. I don't think that this is the greatest expression of myself. I mean, I accept that that's where I'm at, but I know I can do better. I know that I actually value being healthy and eating healthy and feeling strong and feeling good in my body, so I think it's going to be a good choice to go to the gym. The motivation there is I want to be healthy. I want to feel good in my body. And it's a very positive motivation for that. And so there's not going to be this seesawing effect where they're like, oh, I'm super motivated because I'm fat, so I'm going to go work out. And then, oh, I lost some weight, so now I'm not motivated because I got where I wanted to go. It's a little difference right there. So number 2 is it is easier to follow through on habits because of where you started. It's easier to follow through on a gym routine when you are authentically motivated to go to the gym because you want to be more healthy. It's very, very simple. And another point here is that any obstacles that come up are more conscious. You're more conscious of any obstacles that come up because you accepted yourself from the start. Now, if I was denying parts of myself and rejecting parts of myself when I decided to start this gym routine, well, then what might happen is I might have obstacles come up that I was just not prepared for and that I didn't even know were there. Because I started off by denying parts of myself, like, oh man, I'm fat, but I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about why, or go into deep detail of what's actually going on below the surface. I'm just looking for an external result to fix my internal problem. But if you start from self-acceptance, you actually start from the internal. You actually start from the inside, and then the change moves its way outside as you start to change on the inside. Number 3 is when we fail, if we relapse, it's not that big of a deal. We might think, oh, I'm starting a new habit, I have to be perfect right from the beginning. In my life, almost any habit that I've ever started, I've failed a few times before it actually stuck. And a great example of this is me trying to break my habit of masturbating or watching porn. This is a really negative habit that really pulled me down, that really cluttered up my mind and really made me think in a way that I didn't really like. And breaking that habit was very difficult because it was so ingrained into me. And when I was trying to break that habit starting off, it was a very negatively motivated. I was like, I don't like how I feel terrible, and I don't like how I think, and blah, 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 so I'm going to stop doing this. And then when I would relapse, then I would beat myself up, and I'd be way off worse than I started. But now, since I'm accepting myself, and I realize, okay, if I relapse, well, cool, I made it farther than I've ever gone before, and I can do better. What can I learn from this instead of just judging myself right off the bat? So similar to the last video, when we're making mistakes or failing, every single time that happens, that right there is an opportunity to accept yourself fully. This might look like that example of mine. So I'm trying to stop masturbating and watching porn, but say I do. Oh no. It's not really the end of the world, but it might feel like it at the time. But realize that, okay, I chose to do this. Even if it's not in my best interest, I chose to do this. But you know what, Paul? I don't really like that you did that, but that doesn't matter. I accept who you are. I accept all of you, including what you just did. And that right there just kind of releases you to not have to experience that torrent of negative emotions that kind of explodes when we don't live up to our own expectations. The biggest takeaway here is, while accepting yourself and embracing yourself, it is easier and much more simple to change yourself, which is really the goal of personal development, is to change and become and actualize our potential. So that's all I have for you today. This has been Paul with Transparent Personal Growth, and that's it. That's the end of the video. Like this video if you want to, and subscribe to keep the channel going forward, and post me your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to think about this topic, about anything that I have to say. And I'm going to leave you with this. I know I keep saying this, stick with me here, but I am honing in very clearly on what my life purpose is. And it's really exciting to me to realize that I could potentially be impacting lives in a way that I didn't even realize was possible 3 months ago. And I'm excited to be able to bring that to you, because this is a great way to impact people indirectly, because I don't actually have to know anybody that's watching my YouTube channel to impact them. I just need to make sure that I'm doing my part in upgrading and developing myself and my content and my direction and my purpose, so that it can actually impact people if they ever watch it. So stick around, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more.